I wanted to come on here to do a bit of a follow-up, but also to clear the air about something. When I posted my previous video on this, basically about Netflix wanting nothing to probably do with the Masters of the Universe franchise after Revelation, that is. I wasn't saying that because I wanted it to happen. I was saying it as an opinion piece. Now look, I know sometimes my videos can get long and they can drag and they become repetitive in what I say. And you know what? That's the nature of the beast when you do things unscripted, not just for me, but for anybody else. We're bound to repeat ourselves. We're bound to stumble on our words. We're bound to basically bore people out of their minds, but because we're not saying what they want to hear. But when I talked about what I said in that video, where I said Netflix may not want to have anything to do with them, I was saying that as an opinion piece. I was saying that as a way of, hey, Netflix's CEO or whoever's in charge of the kids' family division, animation division, whatever, that person may be an old school Masters of the Universe fan, but even that person may not want to have anything to do with Masters of the Universe as a franchise if this backlash continues. I wasn't saying, oh, I hope Netflix doesn't do anything with the Masters of the Universe franchise anymore. I hope they kick them to the curb and all that. I hope this, I hope that. No, I wasn't saying that. What I was saying was an opinion. And that opinion is the fact that from my point of view, from what I've heard from people like Geeks and Gamers, Clownfish TV, RK Outpost, and many others, from what they have reported and talked about from the various sources they're in contact with, and these sources are very reliable from what I understand, Netflix may not want to do anything anymore with the Masters of the Universe franchise because of the backlash they're getting. And like I said, I'm not saying that because I want it to happen. I'm saying that because from my personal point of view, hearing what these people have said, and there's a good chance that Netflix may consider not wanting to work with anybody else when it comes to the Masters of the Universe franchise anymore. They may not want anything to do with them. Period. They may not. And that's a fact. That is a fact of life. It's not something I want to see happen. Because I want to see old school shows that are getting, a new lease on life. Either it's through soft reboot continuations or total reboot recon, presentations. I want them to still thrive. I want a new generation to enjoy what my generation has enjoyed. I'm not trying to say, oh, take it away because it's not going to work. No, I'm saying in an opinion kind of way that Netflix may consider not wanting to do anything with Masters of the Universe anymore because of the backlash. Think about it this way. Okay? If you worked for a company and that company started getting so much backlash because all of a sudden they bought the license to a property and that property was, basically was used to being a certain way in the eyes of a lot of people, how would you feel if that company that bought the rights to make a remake or a reboot of that property changed it up to where there's some familiarization to it, but there's a lot more things that are different? How would you feel? How would you feel if that company did that? If your company took a property that you enjoyed as a kid in your generation's time, how would you feel if your company that you worked for said, okay, I want you to work on this reboot, but I want the reboot to be this way instead of the way it used to be? How would you feel if you suddenly try to speak up and be like, well, wait a minute. A lot of old school people and even new school people that have seen it are used to it that way. Why do you want us to change it? And then they told you the possible reasons why. How would you feel? How would you feel about that? You wouldn't enjoy it, would you? You wouldn't enjoy it. You wouldn't like the fact that you have to basically re-script and rewrite a show and certain characters in that show in ways that they're not meant to be. And this is how a lot of people feel about Masters of the Universe Revelation. They're not trying to hate on it because they want to hate on it. They're basically disappointed in it because it's everything they pretty much were told it was going to be, and yet you have people like Kevin Smith and those that back him up saying, "Oh no, that's not true. That's not true. It's not totally not that. I mean, I don't know what you're getting at it. I don't know what you're getting your sources at. That's totally not that. No. That's not that." But yet, from what everybody is seeing, it is, and that's why you got the backlash. The same thing when they did She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. When word got out, oh, new She-Ra show, cool. But yet more word got out that the person behind it never watched She-Ra as a kid and basically took the She-Ra property and the characters involved and basically inserted in the minds of a lot of longtime She-Ra fans, basically inserted their own OCs into the roles of the established She-Ra characters to tell their little fanfic story through the Princesses of Power. Of course it pissed a lot of people off. It pissed a lot of people off because, yeah, it was great to see She-Ra back on the screen. That's great and everything. But yet this was not the She-Ra they were expecting. This was a She-Ra that's basically like, "Hi, I'm She-Ra. I'm LGBTQ. You know, I'm in love with Catra and Catra's in love with me. Whee!" Now, I'm not trying to say that to mock anybody that's LGBTQ, okay? Not doing that. No offense. No offense. But I'm giving, no offense, all due respect, no offense. But I'm giving an example, basically, of how a lot of people saw this new version of She-Ra. This wasn't the She-Ra that freaking Bo had a crush on and she was aware of it. This wasn't the She-Ra that had Adam as a brother and they would visit back and forth from, Eternia and Etheria. The point I'm getting at is that even though it lasted a couple of seasons, and these seasons came sporadically one after the other, obviously, it still got a ton of backlash because a lot of people saw through the BS. And then when it came out by the person behind it herself, Stevenson, that she had never seen She-Ra, basically admitting the truth to a lie that she put out before, or something similar to that, it pissed a lot of people off, and it gave that show more backlash than it needed. That's why you haven't heard any more talk about moving forward with a She-Ra and Princess of Power movie or special follow-up or whatever they're going to plan to do. Because Netflix doesn't want to deal with any more backlash when it comes to that, or possibly don't want to have any more backlash to do with that. And all I'm saying about this is they may not want to do the same with Revelation, after, the first season, if not the only season of it, is completed. They may not want nothing to do with it. And why? Why, you may ask? Because of the backlash they're getting. Because of the fact that Kevin Smith and those associated with him that working on this, script writers and everything else, just won't come out and say, yeah, truth is, this is about Teela. Teela is the central point, and this is why we're doing it, They're not coming out and telling the truth. They're denying it time in and time out, and that is what's infuriating people, and that's what's causing Masters of the Universe Revelation, which, from an animation standpoint, looks good, no doubt about it. I'm going to give it 100% thumbs up on that. And the story might be good to go along with it, but this is why it's getting the backlash it's getting. Because Kevin Smith and those that are helping him with this, helping him to bring this continuation of the Filmation series to life, are not telling the truth. That's about it. They're not telling the truth. They're denying it. They're denying what was seen. They're denying what has been talked about through synopsis and promotionals and all that. They're denying it, and yet they know and they see themselves that it's everything that people were told it was going to be. Look, what I said in that last video, as I mentioned, was an opinion. That's it. But based off what all this backlash is coming from when it comes to Revelation, my opinion is basically, hey, Netflix may consider not wanting to do anything more with the Masters of the Universe franchise because of this. And all Kevin Smith has to do, all the person in charge at Netflix, the CEO, has to do, the animation division or whatever it is, has to do is just come out and say, look, here's the truth. This is what Masters of the Universe Revelation is going to be about. This is who's going to be the central point, and this is why we're doing it. That's all they have to do. And if they do that, guess what? Everybody that's backlashing them, that's calling them out on the BS, from Geeks and Gamers, RK Outpost, Clownfish TV, Variety, Hollywood Reporter, all them, they will stop criticizing them. They will stop being on their case. They will stop basically making fun of them if they just come out and tell the truth. And if they do that, guess what? People might want to see more Masters of the Universe, on Netflix, because hey, at least now you're being honest, as to what's going on with Revelation. And that's it. But the thing is, like I said in that other video, as an opinion piece, basically they may not want to have anything to do with it after it's all said and done. It may warrant a continuation, Revelation that is, but Netflix may say, yeah, we'll let somebody else deal with that. We'll let another streaming service deal with that. We don't want to deal with that anymore. And to me, that may happen. That may or may not happen, all because of this backlash. But in conclusion, guys, all that video really was an opinion piece. An opinion piece from my own point of view. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but the way the backlash is coming the way of Revelations, more so, believe it or not, than the Princesses of Power, I wouldn't put it past it. I wouldn't. Because, and you wonder why there's so much backlash, why people are angry? It's because of the fact that a lot of people are calling Kevin Smith out and those involved with the series out for taking this, very popular, very well-known IP of a property and basically taking the characters involved in there and using it as a whole to basically push their own agenda of wokeness, SJW, Karen, and stuff like that, LGBTQ, and all that. That's what they're doing, and even though it's plain to see, Kevin Smith and all of them are denying it, and that's what's causing the backlash. The show overall might be good. We might all be like, hey, that was a great series, great continuation or conclusion to the Filmation series. Great, good, I want more. We may be like that when it's all said and done. But what's angering us right now, or angering a lot of people right now, I should say, is the fact that, in front of our own plain eyes, and theirs as well, everything that we see and has been pointed out in a way is true. And yet you have those that are working on it, like Smith himself, denying it. And if Smith and Netflix wants people off their back, and all they have to do is just come out and tell the truth. That's it. Because right now, Netflix, to save their own hide, may not want nothing to do with the Masters of the Universe franchise after this is all said and done. And that's an opinion. And that's what the other video was about. It's an opinion. It's not clickbait or anything like that. It's an opinion. And that's it. Clownfish TV may title their videos a certain way, but it's their opinion. They're reading off, articles. They're basically taking information they got from reliable sources, and they, along with the likes of Geeks and Gamers and RK Outpost and many others, they're just giving their opinions. They're not clickbaiting anybody else. They're giving their opinions. And that's what I'm doing. I'm giving my opinion to the fact that Netflix may not want nothing to do with this to save their own hide after it's all said and done. Even if another season or third or fourth part is, greenlit, is greenlit to happen, Netflix may say, yeah, it's gonna happen, but we're not gonna, show it. You can send it to Peacock, you can send it to Paramount, HBO Max, Disney Plus, don't matter, Amazon Prime, we want nothing to do with it. Excuse me there. Because Mattel may greenlit another few parts, another few seasons, but Netflix may not want nothing to do with it. And they may say, yeah, let these other services take care of it, or deal with it. We're done. And all I'm doing in this video is just giving an opinion of that may happen. I'm not saying it will. I'm hoping it doesn't, because Netflix is a good home for shows like this. But, the backlash, it's getting right now. The backlash it's getting right now, even before it premieres in the next, 2 weeks? It doesn't help it. It does not help it. And, just, in all businesses, when a major business, gets a lot of blame for something going awry, they try to distance themselves from it. They try to distance themselves from it as much as they can, and Netflix may do that. Despite it being a success for them, they may do that. But again, just like the other video, that's an opinion. That's an opinion based on what we see. So, in conclusion, all my video was, just like this video is, this follow-up was an opinion. It wasn't clickbait or anything, it was an opinion. And my opinion, basically, just like in that video, is I feel Netflix, after it's all said and done, may not want to have anything to do with the Masters of the Universe franchise after this because of the backlash. Hopefully I'm wrong, and they still want to continue going into this partnership with Mattel. But afterwards, after the revelation is complete, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But again, it's just an opinion, guys. It's not clickbait or anything. It's just an opinion. But let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are in the live chat during the premiere. Like the video, and I will talk to y'all later.